My name is Scott Lynch. I am the founder of an immersive cinema company called Voyre. Voyre is a company that works a lot with virtual reality technology. We create movies and TV shows and training for VR headsets, which are like this. So you put it on your head, and we create content for all kinds of organizations, everything from nonprofits who want to show the work that they do in sort of maybe like foreign countries, to training materials for companies like Samsung, to immersive narratives. We've done some stuff for Meta to kind of like the next level of what being inside of a movie is like. So we work with kind of like a whole range of different types of content. Currently, one of the things I'm working on is an interactive fiction platform. We're going to be working with a recent graduate who has sort of a background in sort of interactive content. So we are going to build out a prototype of sort of what we think is the future of interactive films. So we're going to work on building out that prototype system. We are working on what the scope of that prototype might look like, and then I'm also going to be working with a screenwriter friend of mine who has already written out sort of an interactive fiction script, and we're going to work on figuring out how to give our users some way to interact with their world in a way that we haven't seen before. So that's sort of our big summer project, and then we'll be doing a dance art film later on in the fall. So it's kind of a whole range of different things that we're interested in and we'll be working on. One of my favorite projects that I've worked on so far was a project called The Faceless Lady, which was created by Meta, aka Facebook. So they are also the ones that create the Quest VR headsets. We had worked on this horror series that they shot in Ireland, and one of the first projects in VR that had ever had kind of like a real budget behind it, with real actors that you might recognize from other TV and media shows. So being able to work on that was a really amazing experience. We got to work with like a really great team of post-production people. I got to do the role of VFX post supervisor, which sort of meant I had to run the team that was putting all of the content together for all 6 episodes. So that was like one of the biggest projects I've ever worked on. 2 hours of content spread over 6 episodes. And it really told a story in a way that we hadn't really seen before in VR. So I've taken a lot of inspiration from the work that was done there and seeing like, okay, well, what are ways that we can take that and like push that forward? I chose 2112 to run my company out of, primarily for a number of reasons. It was in the neighborhood that I currently live in. Having a creative incubator space has been great for a company like mine. I get to meet a lot of other people that are not only interested in tech that come through here, but people that are also very much on the art side. There's a lot of musicians here, there's a lot of graphic artists, there are video creators, there are writers, and just other creative people, but that are also really focused on also running their businesses. Being sort of a solopreneur or a small creative business like ours, you can often feel quite in your own bubble, and you also sometimes don't know other people that are in that same position that you're in. Running your own company is, by yourself or with a small team it's very different than like working in a large business that's sort of established, and the kind of challenges that you run into tend to be a lot different. And so I have found a lot of camaraderie in the other people that I meet here. I've gotten good advice about, as I hit sort of different roadblocks or different problems. It's nice to be able to talk to other people that completely understand where you're coming from. And it really helps make that journey of starting a business and trying to get it going a lot less lonely, and you kind of feel like you have some more peer support. Being a co-working space that is in the creative industries, there's a lot of support for when we wanted to host events. So we hosted a hackathon here for a virtual production group that I work with. So just having like some space and having some extra equipment. Like right now we're in a great space that you can record audio in, or like we've recorded stuff inside of this space. And so just kind of having something accessible that you can use free of charge. So having those extra resources is always super helpful. So my inspiration for doing VR work and immersive cinema work really kind of marries sort of the two two major interests of mine. My background is in filmmaking, so I started off as sort of a traditional filmmaker. I've done TV shows, I've done features, I've done, for a long time I was producing music festival concerts and all recap videos for like some of the bigger music festivals. But I've always kind of felt that I wanted to do something that could impact people in a different way than just traditional filmmaking. With VR technology, you could put a viewer using one of these headsets inside any location that you wanted. It almost like acts like a transporter, like in a futuristic Star Trek way. It's wherever we put our cameras, we can recreate what the feeling is of being in that place and time. That level of immersion and that level of how it feels to you personally is something that I have never seen before, even in cinema. In cinema, you always are sort of a viewer of the content, where with the immersive cinema, you are literally inside of the content, and that's a very different shift. So here's my opportunity to really try to do something different with my career, but also do something that hopefully will help inform how people use this technology moving forward. So for me, it was just something I was super passionate about and like have gotten really excited about, and plan to continue working on for probably the rest of my working career. One of the big ideas that that I plan to be working towards is really building these, what I call more like story worlds. There's a lot of different stories that happen sort of within that universe. And I think that there's an opportunity with immersive cinema and VR to build out what I call these story worlds, but where the viewer, where the user can navigate through that world in a way that is unique to them. There is like a project that I've been working on where I've been building out this large world and plan to have different types of interactive stories that happen throughout that larger world. You can play different characters, but each one would kind of maybe be a self-contained experience, but overall, they're all kind of giving you another slice of like what is happening in this kind of made-up world, if you will. So I think the possibilities of being able to do that, and also do that in a way that kind of, in a sense, blends like social media and storytelling and film. I'm still kind of working through what that concept will be like. There's a huge idea, so it's like it's going to require significant amounts of resources and money, and also just like talent to be able to produce what's in my head. And hopefully we'll find the resources and funding to at least start building out that world and then see where that takes us. So the best place to find us is at voyre.com, and we also are on Instagram at its.voyre. So those are probably usually the best places to find us. If you head to our website and you have a VR headset, you can also download our free app that we've made for the MetaQuest headset. So if you want to see sort of what the immersive cinema stuff is that I'm talking about, it's really meant to see inside of a headset. So you can check out that stuff there, and then on our website there's a bunch of just kind of examples of different things. You can also find me here at 2112.
I'm out.
Okay.